What's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. We've got some breaking news. Trevor Bauer has been reinstated. His suspension has been reduced from 324 games to 194 games. We're going to break it all down and tell you everything you need to know. But first, if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel for our latest Dodgers news and rumors all season long. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comments section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day: what is your reaction to Trevor Bauer being reinstated, to his suspension being reduced? Do you want to see him back on the mound for the Dodgers? What do you think the Dodgers will do? Will they release him? Will they DFA him? Will he be pitching for another team next season? I want all your Trevor Bauer takes down below in the comments section. And for all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. We've got some big breaking news to get into. Trevor Bauer has been reinstated. ESPN's MLB insider Alda Gonzalez tweeted out Trevor Bauer's initial 324-game suspension under MLB's domestic violence policy has been reduced to 194 games by an arbitrator, ending a 7-month grievance process. And then shortly after the news broke, Major League Baseball released a statement that read, "Today, the neutral arbitrator selected by MLB and the MLBPA affirmed that Trevor Bauer violated Major League Baseball's joint domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse policy. After an exhaustive review of the available evidence, the neutral arbitrator upheld an unpaid suspension of 194 games. As part of the decision, the arbitrator reinstated Mr. Bauer effective immediately, with a loss of pay covering the 144 games he was suspended during the 2022 season. In addition, the arbitrator docked Bauer's salary for the first 50 games of the 2023 season, i.e. the period covering March 30th, 2023 to May 23rd, 2023. While we believe a longer suspension was warranted, Major League Baseball will abide by the neutral arbitrator's decision, which upholds baseball's longest ever active player suspension for sexual assault or domestic violence. We understand this process was difficult for the witnesses involved, and we thank them for their participation. Due to the collectively bargained confidentiality provisions of the joint program, we are unable to provide further details at this time." And then Trevor Bauer's representatives, they released a statement that read, "While we are pleased that Mr. Bauer has been reinstated immediately, we disagree that any discipline should have been imposed. That said, Mr. Bauer looks forward to his return to the field, where his goal remains to help his team win a World Series." And then, of course, Trevor Bauer, he took to Twitter to break his silence, and he tweeted, "The 2023 season vlog is going to be fire. I can't wait to see y'all out at a stadium soon." So was he talking about Dodger Stadium? Was he talking about another stadium for another team? Well, the Dodgers, they had this to say on their own Twitter. They tweet out, "Dodgers statement on today's ruling. We have just been informed of the arbitrator's ruling and will comment as soon as practical." So the big question now is what's next for Trevor Bauer and the Dodgers, because we know he has been reinstated effective immediately, and that 50 games, that is for his salary. That is not for him to miss time. The only thing carrying into the 2023 season is that salary being withheld, not the suspension. Now, the reason for this is that Bauer was placed on paid administrative leave starting in July of 2021 and renewed through the end of the season when Major League Baseball placed the 324-game ban on the Cy Young Award-winning pitcher. This is from Bill Shaken of the LA Times. He writes, "Bauer lost $37.5 million in salary from his $102 million Dodgers contract. Bauer forfeited his salary for the final 144 games of the 2022 season and the first 50 games of the 2023 season. However, the arbitrator is allowing him to play for those first 50 games in part because of his cooperation in repeatedly agreeing to an investigative leave during which he missed the last half of the 2021 season." So the panel found that Bauer did violate the league's domestic violence policy, and he will forfeit his salary for that season. He will also lose the salary for the first 50 games of the next season, as that represents retroactive payment for salary he collected while not playing during his time on administrative leave from July 21st to April 2022. So now comes the biggest question. What will the Dodgers do, and how does this impact the Dodgers specifically? Well, Bauer had been on the restricted list, so he wasn't counted against LA's 40-man roster since first being placed on administrative leave. And like we said earlier, the Dodgers have until January 6th to either reinstate him or outright release him, DFA him. And Bob Nightingale, he tweeted out following the news that the Dodgers plan to release Trevor Bauer but have not announced a decision. So right now the ball is in the Dodgers' court. We'll see what they do. I can tell you that what I'm hearing is that is the expectation, that the Dodgers will be releasing Trevor Bauer. They will DFA him. And we asked you over on Dodgers Nation Twitter, what is your stance on Trevor Bauer pitching for the Dodgers? And 66.6% of you said let him pitch for LA, while 33.4% of you said release him immediately. And that was with 9,748 votes. So still a lot of time to vote on that. Still one more day. So that's a lot of votes in a short amount of time. And most Dodger fans, based on that poll, want to see him back pitching for LA. Now, will it happen? Most likely it will not. And I'm pretty sure at this point that decision has been made, and it's been made and finalized for quite some time. Now, we know that Trevor Bauer has vehemently denied every single one of the allegations made against him, and in this case, his suspension was reduced. But it's clear at this point the Dodgers want to turn the page on Trevor Bauer. Now, the next question is, how does it affect them financially? How will that impact the Dodgers when you look at their CBT and what they're trying to do this offseason in free agency? Well, whether or not they keep him on the roster or let him go, they're on the hook for most of his 2023 salary. LA won't have to pay him for the first 50 games of the season, but will owe him around $22.5 million in prorated money after calculating his reduced pay. That money will also count against the Dodgers' luxury tax ledger for the 2023 season, and now LA's CBT number is bumped up to $232 million, just $1 million shy of the $233 million threshold. So there's been a lot of talk this offseason about the Dodgers keeping their hands in their pockets and not going out there and spending big money on big name free agents. And really, there weren't that many out there that made sense for the Dodgers, but still, they watched Stephen Cohen in the Mets put together the most expensive, highest paid roster in the history of North American sports. The Padres, the team that beat them in the NLDS, they've gotten better. They've made some big signings with Xander Bogaerts headlining their offseason moves. You've seen the Phillies sign Trey Turner. So, yeah, the Dodgers haven't done very much, and there's no doubt in my mind that the Trevor Bauer situation was a big reason why. So financially, this is going to hurt the Dodgers. This is going to throw a wrench into what they were planning on doing this offseason in resetting that CBT so they wouldn't have to be subjected to those repeater taxes, and it would just completely reset, and then they could throw a lot of money at Shohei Ohtani next year. And I still think they will do that, but is going to be far more expensive. And I think Trevor Bauer is a pitcher that if the Dodgers brought him back, he could really help this rotation. Look, let's be honest. The Dodgers need another starting pitcher, and you could slot him right in between Julio Urias and Clayton Kershaw, and he really would solve a lot of the Dodgers' problems. But what it comes down to is the Dodgers don't want to deal with the PR backlash that would come from bringing Trevor Bauer back. I'm telling you, this organization does not want to have that press conference. This organization does not want to answer those questions. So one thing you could see next season is Trevor Bauer on the mound for another team while the Dodgers are paying his salary, because they could release him, a team could sign him for the minimum, and I do think there's teams out there that would strongly consider it. I wouldn't rule out the Houston Astros, the Texas Rangers, teams that want to win, teams that see Trevor Bauer as a guy that can help their team and their rotation. So at the end of the day, the Dodgers, they don't want to deal with all the circus and backlash that would come from reinstating him, so I would not expect him to be back on the Dodgers, and I think his days in LA are gone. But at the very least, the Dodgers do have a resolution, and they can begin the process of moving on. And Andrew Friedman, he has to answer some questions too, because look, this has really set the organization back. This is a team that has Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts and possibly Julio Urias and Clayton Kershaw for one more season, and now they've been in a holding pattern when it comes to adding salary and adding free agents agents, and a lot of that has to do with signing Trevor Bauer a few years ago. So we'll see how this organization bounce back. How will they recover from the Trevor Bauer situation? It's clear they do not want to bring him back. Dodger fans do want to see him back in blue. He could really help this team. He definitely has missed significant time, so that is a factor. But I would not bet on Bauer being back for the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers do have some Bauer's remorse, and I don't anticipate them reinstating him. But let me know down below in the comments section. Do you want to see Trevor Bauer back pitching for the Dodgers? Once again, should they bring Bauer back? I want all your thoughts and reaction to the news that Trevor Bauer's suspension has been reduced and that he has been reinstated effective immediately. I want all your takes down below. I kind of wish Major League Baseball and the powers that be would have provided this ruling and this information before the start of free agency, and it would have given the Dodgers a clearer picture of what they were up against. But something tells me the Dodgers knew exactly what the outcome was going to be, and I think they spent accordingly. But let me know down below. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. For all latest Dodgers news and rumors all offseason long, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.